My name's Sarah Franklyn and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing and Impact Data. And today I'm going to talk you through our digital marketing application, TalkBox. I'm going to show you all its best features and hopefully that will convince you to come on board. So we're starting at the dashboard, which is obviously the natural place to start. And as you can see here, this shows you how your database is growing over time, which is a nice metric that we want to keep an eye on to make sure that our contacts are growing. The database makeup is over here on the right, where you can see how many people you have an email address for and how contactable they are, whether they're unsubscribed or they're unreachable. And then, of course, the number of mobile numbers that you can reach as well. And, of course, your total contacts. Up here on the right in the settings, you have your users. So that's where you can come and add other people in your organisation that need to be able to access TalkBox and, of course, purchase new SMS credits to set your messages up. So let's get started with a message. So let's navigate to communications and create new. We're going to send an email and an SMS together, and I'll show you what that means as we progress through. And the first thing that we come to is the My Template section. Now, if when you work with us, we set up some beautifully designed email templates for you to get started, or you might have added your own, or over time you'll actually save your own templates to use again as a start point, say for Mother's Day or Father's Day or things like that. So let's communicate with one of the ones that we've already got here. So I'm going to select this one and I'm going to use that as my starting point. So here we go, it's beautiful, but actually the text that's in here is not really what I want to do. I want to put some additional text in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a text block. So just clicking on that little blue box that says text, and I'm going to drop it over onto the canvas. Now, wherever the green line is, as you can see, I'm moving that around. Wherever that green line is, that's where that text block will drop. So I've just unclicked my mouse and there it is. There's this new block of text. And I can go into this text and say, oh, obviously that's just rubbish. So I want to say, hello, this is my new block of text. And I actually want to insert the name of one of our customers, of all of our customers, so I'm going to insert their first name. So that's how we personalize the communications a little bit better. And we can also use information that's set up from your account. So for example, I want to include the email address, and that would be something like info@myvenuename.com.au. So I don't have to retype it, and that can be automatically inserted. I also want to add a file. So here I can insert a file and I can just drop something in from my computer. So we might add a fantastic document called For Love or Money, where we can choose that file and drop that in. So if you needed to send a function booking pack or something like that, you can use that to insert a file into your email. There's some other features in here like adding a link. So what we might want to do is insert a link into our functions page. So let's say myvenue.com.au/functions. And then we can actually just make that a link here. So we can actually insert that link, or we could change that to be an email address or to a form. So there's lots of features here in this text block about how you can personalize your communications. All of your colors are available, so you can change the color of your font. You can increase the size of your font and all of the true fonts that are available, because we know how they'll actually land in an inbox and we're guaranteeing that we know what they're going to say and look like. So that's really important. So there's lots of features that you can explore here. So adding text is pretty straightforward. What happens when we want to add an image? Now I'm going to be bold and I'm going to add 2 images here. So I'm going to put it straight under my really awful text block here, and I'm going to say I want 2 images. So simply, I can choose an image, either ones that I've uploaded previously. I could upload some new ones, or I could link it if they're available online. But I'm just going to choose one of the ones that I've already used previously. And in my second image block, I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to add this beautiful picture in here. So there we go. We've got 2 images side by side, and I can link them off to a page on my website or onto my socials or something like that. And I can describe them here. So lady with birthday cake. And that's a really good thing to do for lots of reasons, but most importantly, just in case the image doesn't load. And this is dining setting. So some extra tips there. So I've made those 2 features as part of my email. A couple of other things that I like to do. I might want to add a button because I want people to book for my function. So I'm going to make my button big and bold. I'm going to make it large. I'm going to make it brightly coloured. I'm going to pick something nice and bright like pink. And instead of submit, I'm going to say, book your lunch function. Okay. And of course, that makes it nice and big and bold and really easy to see on the page. And then, of course, we can either link it to a form that's already been created in your TalkBox account or link it to a page, your event booking page or something like that on your website. So there we go. One of the other really cool features of TalkBox is the fact that we have what's called NPS. Now, NPS is Net Promoter Score, and it is a global question, which simply asks how likely would you be to recommend us to a friend? And this allows businesses to be benchmarked across the world. So what happens, the magic, is when someone responds. So if a customer gives you 0 to 6, they obviously haven't had a great experience, and we want to keep them away from bad reviews in your socials. So what we do is we respond with an email on your behalf that says, we're really sorry that we didn't meet the expectations, or something that's appropriate to the tone of your business. And you, of course, will receive that email as soon as they've clicked it, so you can action it as soon as you can. 7s or 8s, what we call neutral, and we say, thank you, that's great, we really appreciate your feedback. Now, 9s or 10s, they're the gold and they're the promoters. So what we do with them is we respond with an email that says, thank you so much, we really appreciate your feedback. Would you give us a review over here? And that's usually your Google My Business page, your Facebook page, or something, where you want to make sure that you're staying top of mind and getting lots of reviews and vision. So you can also pop a voucher into those responses. We've seen some great responses for people who have actually given vouchers to people who didn't have a great experience, and seen a really high uptake of that. So that's a really good way to mitigate that first bad experience. Now, feedback, as you saw, or NPS, can be dropped into any communication you like. So it could be after a certain number of visits, it could be on your welcome message, excuse me, or it could be, after you've changed your menu or updated your venue or something like that. So all really good times to ask for feedback. And you want to keep an eye on that over time. So we'll show you how you can review your scores. One of the other amazing features of TalkBox is what we call our native voucher feature. So I'm just going to drop that under my big button. And we send vouchers in 2 ways. Now, we can send a voucher as a QR code or a string, what's called a string code. Depending on your point of sale partner, this could be potentially automatically redeemed by your customer simply scanning their email or SMS message, and your point of sale system is linked up to ours, and it knows exactly what to do with that voucher. So talk to your impact data salesperson, and they'll help you understand which point of sale partners we can do that with, and that's a growing number. Now, if you don't have one of our partners, what you can do is use our TalkBox scanning app to achieve the same result. And it just needs a device of some sort that you can keep in your register or, behind the counter, and you download the TalkBox scanning app. And what it does is it scans this image when a customer brings it up, and you can see whether that voucher is valid or not. And of course, you add the instructions, which I'll show you how to do, in the back, and then your staff member know exactly what they're supposed to do. Could be, press the 10% off button, or give this customer a free bottle of wine, whatever it is that you're incentivizing them with. So I'm going to choose a free drink voucher, and I'm going to add that in. Now, importantly, vouchers are single use, so customers can only use them once, and then they're redeemed, and they get a message to say, sorry, that voucher has been redeemed. It's always a good idea to tell them what the voucher is as well. So I'd probably put another block in here. Maybe we'll just get fancy and put a heading block. This, let's just make this a little bit easier so we can see it, is for a free drink. There we go. That's definitely going to get some attention. Now, there's some other features here that are really valuable when you're creating your communications, and you can go around and play with them. And if you don't like it, just hit the browser back button, or simply trash that section if it didn't work for you. Speaking of sections, one of our most exciting new features in TalkBox is our sections feature. And this is a block of content. Think of it a little bit like a tile that you can create once and use many times. So if, for example, you wanted to include your opening hours in the bottom of all your emails, you'd set that up as a footer and just drop that into each of your emails. Or it could be a sign off from the team, or it could be a link to your functions page. The applications are endless, and all you need to do is create a section over here and just use exactly the same sort of functionality as you did in the editor, and we'll send you videos to help you navigate through saving and creating sections. But once a section is in your email, you can actually use it anytime. And wherever you update it, it gets updated in every other email that's being used. So it's really helpful, for example, if you're changing your opening hours, and that's in a few of your automated emails like your welcome and things like that, well, that's going to get updated in every spot. So you don't need to worry about that, which is fantastic. So if you need a little bit more help with that, talk to your Impact Data sales team. And when you come on board, our support team are there to help you. Last section is settings, where you can change the template. You've decided that that probably wasn't the greatest starting point, or you can change the body color. I'm going to really amp this up and give it a bit of yellow today, make it really bold. And of course, we can change the page color around it, and they make it really stand out. So I've got your attention now, haven't I? And I can change the font to Helvetica if I wanted to do, or something like that. So we've created an email. Can't say it's gorgeous, but let's keep going. Now, importantly, we need to add a subject line. So we're going to say, hi, my new email. All right, now you might have seen this little smiley face here, and that's an emoji. You can add emojis into your subject lines on TalkBox, which is a lot of fun. Use them sparingly, but they can be really fun. They can get attention, and they can be quite meaningful depending on what message you want to talk about. So, you know, obviously there's a lot of food and wine ones, which are very common with our customers. So, you know, you might have really introduce popcorn chicken. So you might do popcorn and then some chicken after it, which I'm sure there is something that resembles a chicken in here. And we can have a little bit of fun with that one, or not. Popcorn crab, that sounds like a great idea. So that could be your new menu item. It's a fun way to use emojis. You can also insert a merge field, like adding first name, and that's always a great idea to personalize your communications. And you can add a pre-header, which gives you another crack at getting that customer's attention. My new, oh, whoops, I actually had a better click in there. My new menu item, just to give everyone a bit of an idea of what the communication is. Now up here we can change the sender. So I'm happy that this is going from me, but this could be coming from the kitchen at your venue or the chef at your venue, just to, you know, create a little bit more personalization from your communication. So let's continue. Actually, you know what? I think this is such a good email. I'm actually going to save it as a template. So I'm going to save it as my new menu item template. And a good idea is to add the year so that I can remember which year I used it in case I want to come back, for example, Mother's Day, and start again. So I'm going to save that as a template, which was a great idea, so I can use it again. And then I'm ready to move forward. Now, up here on the top, it shows me what it looks like on a computer, what it's going to look like on a tablet, and really importantly, because that's the most important one, what it's going to look like on a phone, because that's where most email addresses get opened. So I can scroll down and say, yep, really happy with that. That's all working for me. And I can preview what it's going to look like for a contact. So I can see, okay, Sarah's in here, which is me. What's it going to look like where I've added my name? And there we can see that that first name is in here. So we can see what that looks like. I can send a test at this point. So I might send that off to myself or my boss or my marketing agency to get some approvals or get some suggestions. I can go back and keep editing, or I can move on, which I'm going to do. Now, at the beginning, I selected both email and SMS. So how we send an email via SMS is that link here. So that link there, that's the email that we've just created with all those funky images on it. That's one of the great tools that you can do with Impact Data, it's TalkBox, because sometimes you really want to get the pictures in front of someone, but you want to get their attention. So SMS is the great way to get attention and then get someone to click into that call to action where the food is and it makes them hungry and they want to book now. So that's a really great way to get their attention. what it's done is it's selected the subject line as the starting text. So it figures, well, that's probably the text you wanted. So we'll start with that. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Now, as you can see here, because I've added some emojis, it's gone over to what we call UCS2. And that's just simply a different mechanism for sending SMSs. And I will let you know that sometimes emojis can click you over into another message. But at the moment, TalkBox doesn't know who I'm sending it to. So it doesn't know how long the longest name is in the selection. So that's why it can't tell me. But if I took out the first name, right, what it knows is there's actually 44 characters left of message 2, because we did use those emojis. So we've actually used 2 credits to send this SMS. But you know what? Popcorn crab sounds amazing. So let's go with that. You can insert a voucher into this section here if you liked, and as of course merge field, and as before, you can add a new sender and change that. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm ready to roll. So I'm going to send that SMS as well. So we're going to hit continue. Now, again, it's just warned me that it's going to be 2 credits, so I'm okay with that. So we'll hit send. Now we come to the who. Who are we going to send this message to? Now, if I make this selection, send email and SMS, if someone has both an email and SMS in the database, they'll get it twice. If I decide to prioritize email, that means there's one person in this database that doesn't have an email address, so they need to receive it via SMS. But actually, I really want to get attention. So I'm going to prioritize SMS, and that means there's 158 people in this database that don't have a mobile phone number, so we're going to have to send them that email. So you can make any of those 3 selections to maximize your reach. Or you can go and select individual people from your database. You can use a filter, and that's one of our advanced features that will take you through when you come on board and show you how to do advanced filtering, which is if this, then that, and mix up different things in your database, or by tags. So a tag can be added to a bulk number of contacts or a single contact, and it might be something you might have run a competition, or they could have booked a function. They might have come to Mother's Day last year, and you've uploaded that data into your TalkBox account and you've tagged them as TalkBox Mother's Day 2022. So that's another way you can do it. But I'm just going to pretend I'm going to send it to all contacts. I'm not though, because otherwise people will be very confused as to why they're receiving this message. So I'm going to hit continue. And you can either send that now or you can schedule it for later. And so you can come in and get that ready for tomorrow, and then you hit continue. And the great thing about TalkBox is it's actually going to ask you 3 times before it sends that message. So you've got a couple of chances to go, am I sure? Is this the right message? Yep, I'll just have one more look at it. So you've got plenty of opportunities. You're not going to hit send and go, oh my goodness, it's gone. You're going to be fine. So that's how we send communications. Now, of course, we want to go and see how they performed. So we'll go over into the report section. The first thing we want to do is go and look at those communications. So you can see one of the recent ones that we did. So this was, thank you for attending a workshop. So, you know, you can see that this one has gone to 19 people. And if I click full report, I can see who, I can see the recipients, and I can click down into who opened, clicked, unopened, or bounced. I can see what links they clicked, and I can even see what devices that they used to look at my communication. So really helpful for you to understand you know, when people are opening your communications and who's opening it and things like that. Now, I mentioned before feedback. Here's where you can come in, so reports, NPS survey, and see what your score is. Now, any score over 0 is positive because the range is -100 to +100, and my score here in this account is 34, so I'm tracking okay. So I can see the people, how many scores I've got at each number. I can see some recent communications. And I can go in and see the completed surveys and understand what happened there. And most importantly, I can see my score over time. So that's really helpful. The third area of reporting is our vouchers. So we added a free drink into that communication. And what I can see here is that that's been issued 11 times. And there's been a few redemptions. And so you can see, you know, it's been a while because this is a test account, but you can come in here and see the percentage of redemptions, last time it was issued, and how many are still valid. So that's really helpful to understand, you know, how much of this campaign's got to go. Couple of other quick features I'll take you through is how you set up the NPS survey. So we do that for you, but in the background, we've got some messages which are responses, and we'll set that up for you as part of the onboarding of your account. And you can come in here and edit the text if you'd like to change that or add a voucher or things like that. In here in the voucher section, you can create a new voucher, give it a good name like free wine with dinner. Put all of the description in here. Now this one, remember, says it's in the validation app, so it's not shown to customers. So this is where you can put the instruction. So use the wine from the bottom of the cellar. You can make it a happy hour voucher, so it's only available on Wednesdays, and I can make it a specific time, so between 5 and 7. I can add a redemption message, so a customer receives a message when they've redeemed the voucher that says thanks, and that could have another voucher in it. I could set them up a reminder, so excuse me, there's 3 days to go, don't forget to redeem your voucher, or your voucher expired, we don't want you to miss out, here's another one. So you can set up all of those messages here. Over here in your contacts area, that's where you can come and see all your contacts, and you can make some adjustments that you might need to make on them. And of course you can select them and add tags to your data and things like that. But the support team will take you through that when you come on board with us. What I was hoping to give you today is an idea of how TalkBox works, how simple it is to send a communication, how powerful it is for you to really engage with your customers and drive your communications to the next level. So we look forward to welcoming you to the TalkBox family. And when you're ready, reach out to the team at hello@impactdata.com.au, and we will get ready and get you on board. Thanks.